This stock has been oversold and it's on the rebound. So, all right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Just a little bit about myself. I have a background in accounting. I started out as a CPA. I have not done that for years, although I've been working with numbers for over 30 years now. And I have quite a bit of experience trading in the stock market. So what I'm hoping to do is just share some of my experience and we can all learn together. And of course, we will try to make some money along the way. So if you enjoy this content, please smash the like button. And if you would subscribe to the channel, we're making a push for 5,000 subscribers, so it would be very much appreciated. Okay, with that said, today I'm going to talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. Today is Friday, November 19th, and the market has not opened yet. So I want to go through Bitcoin because yesterday was brutal. Let's talk about it. Let's look at the chart, and then we'll look at a bunch of the Bitcoin mining charts in specific and see where we think things are going. I'm just going to show you yesterday's Bitcoin miner results. I'm not going to go line by line. We all know what happened. It was a very red day. Nobody needs to relive it, I'm sure. I will just point out two highlights. Marathon was the only thing green on the whole board. It was up 1%, and DigiHost was the biggest loser on the day, down 15%. None of the Bitcoin miners had any big news yesterday, so most of this trading was just based on the downward pressure on Bitcoin that we experienced yesterday. So with that said, that's what happened yesterday. Let's talk about today. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. So you can see for the last few days, we have been hanging out at just around $59,000 to $60,000. And late at night on Wednesday night, we broke below $60,000. Now, I want to point out, I have been saying for the last month that I thought we were going to hold $60,000. So that has been working out for me okay until yesterday. Wednesday, late at night, we did break below $60,000. And once we did break that line, we had a serious move to the downside. So one of the reasons I want to put this video out today is, even though I had been confident that we were going to hold $60,000, Bitcoin is very volatile. I do try to point this out in every video. So, one of the things I always say is I don't have a crystal ball. So yesterday definitely proved that. I had been fairly confident about $60,000. I look at a lot of different indicators. They all seem to say that we were going to have a move to the upside. However, they were all wrong. So that's an important lesson to remember. Trying to guess where Bitcoin's going to go in the next 24 hours is always a very dangerous game, which is why I don't deal in short-term options. I reiterate that many times on this channel. So the first thing I would say is we do not panic. The sky is not falling. Starting at about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning this morning, we've actually had a serious move to the upside. However, trading has not started, and as always, we don't know exactly which direction we're going to go in. So what I try to do is look at a range that we're trading in and look for any signals that we may be going in one direction or the other. But as always, in the big picture, and I will zoom out in a minute, I remain bullish on Bitcoin. We have now had pretty much a full correction here, and we'll look at that. But I have viewed this as a buying opportunity. I put my money where my mouth is. I did continue to buy in all the way through this dip into the Bitcoin miners that I thought had the most potential upside. That is not financial advice. Every single investor needs to decide what their comfort level is. If you're getting uncomfortable, or you're going to be uncomfortable at a point, you should have a plan for when you're going to get in and out of a trade. So I have pretty high conviction in these miners. I believe financially they've only begun to start earning money, and there's a lot more where that came from. So that's what I think. But again, please do your own due diligence. Have conviction in your own trades, because it doesn't matter what I say. If you don't believe in your own trade, you will potentially buy high and sell low. So on the 1 hour candle, if you see, this was 10 o'clock last night, we reached $55,640. So that has been the low on this recent downturn, $55,640. Now, somewhere at around, you can see here, 3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden we started to move to the upside. We've pretty much been moving up ever since. That 8 o'clock candle was very green, and all these times are Eastern Standard Time, by the way, just to put things in perspective. So the 8 o'clock candle was very green. The 9 o'clock candle so far has been green. We're up to 57,785, 57,800-ish as we speak. What I want to do is take a look at the big picture now. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, clean up the chart a little bit, and then we'll look at some miners in specific. So from a big picture standpoint, we reached our all-time high here on November 10th, and that was exactly $69,000. So from there to last night's low, that's about 19.5%. So very close to a 20% pullback. So we have seen this before in Bitcoin. We've actually seen a lot worse than this, but it is no fun. This was brutal. Did we reach the bottom last night? Maybe. We've gotten to a pretty natural point of a 20% pullback. There are some lines below this on the chart, so I always want to point that out. I have a line at 54,000 and then another one at 53,697. So if we were to retest these lines, that would still leave us at about a 22% correction. So that is by no means out of the question. Hopefully that was the bottom last night, but we don't know. So that would be some short-term support that we would be looking at, and hopefully instead we will start to head back up towards some of these lines of previous support that we just ran through. So I want to clean up a few lines that are kind of duplicate. There's a line here at $60,000 that was a short-term line. Our stronger trend line was this $59,625. So those two are right on top of each other. I'm going to delete one of them. These two lines are right on top of each other. The stronger line was our purple line at 62,853. This 63,000 was a very short-term line. I'm going to delete that just to clean that up a little bit. So that helps clean our chart up a little bit. Okay, so if I zoom back in here, you'll see we've just passed this line of support at 57,562. I am really looking back at this 59,625. So that was around my 60,000 that I thought we would hold strong at, and we have gone below. So the first thing that I would look, I don't think we can confirm an uptrend until we get back above this line. So at the moment, I think we're trading in a range, and I would say we need to break through this 59,625 line, get back over 60,000 really to confirm that the bull run is back on. So going the other way, again, I'm going to use this green line at 53,724. That would represent a full 22% pullback from our all-time high this month. Those are the lines we're trading between right now. So that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at a few of the miners and see what's going on. I want to go through greenage. I haven't talked about greenage in a little while. So greenage started out very, very rough, but I think that it has found its footing, and we've got some pretty good lines now to take a look at of support. And right now, yesterday, we were very close to one of those lines. Yesterday, greenage closed $20.66. I have a green line at about $20. This is the entire chart since the merger, so the first day of trading was back here on September 20th. We quickly traded down into a range, and you can see really I have a yellow line at $22. I think that's actually another very strong line of support. Now, we had this period of time right here and this period of time right here, which was just right now yesterday. Those two times we've broken below this $22 line. But other than that, greenage has been holding $22 fairly strongly. So I think greenage has set up a little bit of a natural trading range here between $22 and just under $27. So you can see most of the time it has spent between these two lines. So if I were to go from where we closed yesterday up to this price target right here, that's almost a 30% upside in greenage. So I do think the downside is small. Again, we're almost at $20. It really has never closed a 4-hour candle below $20. So that doesn't mean that it can't. And unless Bitcoin has further downward pressure, I would say $20 is a pretty solid line of support. $22 to $27, I think, is its natural trading range. So we're actually below the bottom of that. So to me, this is a potential buy. I will tell you, I'm not buying anything today. I've spent most of this week buying the dip, and so I am now going to wait. We are at a point where I have filled out most of my positions, and it doesn't make sense for me to buy anything unless we have another serious break to the downside, which I certainly hope we don't have. So my positions are fairly full. Having said that, looking at this chart, it seems like greenage is in a good position. So it looks to me like this is a very good entry point on greenage. And again, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence. This is what the chart looks like right now. And in my opinion, it looks like we're at a good entry point on greenage. Marathon hit its all-time high of $83.40 on November 9th. So that was only 10 days ago. In that 10 days, Marathon is down almost 40% to where it closed the day yesterday. So a pretty serious pullback in Marathon. There were several reasons for that. They announced some debt of over $600 million that they were going to issue. They were also subpoenaed by the SEC, so there was some negative news swirling around this stock. In addition to that, Marathon had just had a massive run up. So I think this pullback was just a combination of things. I believe it was overdone. I think there's upside. You will see that yesterday there was only one green stock, and it was Marathon. And I think the reason for that is this stock has been oversold, and it's on the rebound. So in my opinion, again, this is a good entry point for Marathon. I also want to talk about another one I have not talked about in a while, and that is Eni. My confidence has increased on Eni over the last month. I did think about a month ago, I thought we were set up for a potential disaster on this stock. Some things have happened in the meantime, one of which is that the stock has pulled way back. The other of which is they placed a massive order for machines. So lots of good news. So Eni hit an all-time high on September 2nd of $11.97. So almost $12. It quickly pulled back off of that, but it did have a more recent high. On October 14th, it had a high of $8.69. So this is the area where I was getting nervous. My thought was if this runs up to $9 or $10 pre-merger, we could have a major correction. But the thing is, you'll see that since that date, we did have a major correction. My fear on this is off the table now. I think the downside that I was worried about has already happened. My concern was that this was going to run up to $10 or $11 and then bounce back down to $5 or $6. We've already gotten back down to $5.06. So I'm much, much more comfortable with Eni at this point. And again, this is the Griffin merger, so they're just moving into this space. So I have a line at $5.50. That basically has held up all the while on this stock. Since it crossed that on August 30th, it's held all the while until just yesterday. So if you're interested in Eni, this seems to be a good entry point. So in the time I've done this video, the market has opened. We're pretty much green across the board at the open. So it's a long day. We've seen wild swings happen, but everything seems to be up between 1% and 4% on the day right now. So we'll see where the day leads us. So best of luck to everybody, and remember, remain calm, don't panic. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.